Welcome to the Supreme Lending Dallas Show, where you'll be introduced to different speakers on different topics, and you'll meet different guests for each of our episodes. Let's get started.
Hi, my name is Liz Evans, host of the Supreme Lending Dallas Show, and welcome today. We have a special guest, and that is loan officer Michael Melton. Our topic today is selling your home before buying a new one. So, Michael, go ahead and introduce yourself more.
My name is Michael Melton. I'm with Supreme Lending, Branch 150. I've been with Supreme for a little over 2 years now, and just want to say thanks for having me on today.
You're welcome. And so what I like to do, Michael, is I like to have the audience get to know you on more of a personal level before getting into our topic today. So
Okay.
We have this photo that has come up. Tell us about this photo. It looks like of the boat show, I believe, in Fort Worth.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It was actually when I first joined Supreme Lending. Fidel, another loan officer with Supreme, Fidel and myself, we went to a Fort Worth boat show. Basically just set up a booth and handed out some free stuff and tried to meet as many people as possible. Actually ended up meeting a lot of people that met a lot of first-time home buyers. We met people that were interested in refinancing their home, and I actually met a couple real estate agents I still work with today. So it was a good day. Went out there, saw a bunch of cool boats, and had a good time.
Makes you want to buy a new boat, right?
Oh, for sure.
But don't do it before you buy a home.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And then our next photo, this is of you and someone else. What is this? You were young.
Oh yeah, that's my best friend Colby. Growing up, and we grew up in Dallas, but we spent a lot of time in camo and hunting and making fires and doing all types of stuff. And his dad was real good about taking us fishing and taking us hunting and showing us all that. And so, yeah, just something we did, having a good time as kids.
And do you still do that today?
Yeah, as much as I can, of course. I
Nice.
do not a lot of hunting, but I do a lot of fishing whenever I can.
Oh, great. Okay. And then tell us about this next photo. It looks like you and your kids on the beach, but you're in a suit.
Yeah, that's actually at my brother's wedding. It's my daughter and my son, and also my niece as well. They were the flower girls and the ring bearer. So that was from a couple of years ago, my brother's wedding, when I had nice long hair.
Okay. And then, Michael, come on. This next photo, are you sure you're in the right industry?
Oh,
This is like picture model. Explain this one.
That was actually, we took the kids to Destin, Florida, and my sister-in-law actually snapped that one. But we were just hanging out on the beach with the kids, having a good time.
And do you get asked about you being a model because of that picture?
No, nothing like that. No, I think I'm in the right industry.
Okay, I think you are too. But, if you had to go to something else, you could definitely use that picture.
Well, if someone wants to pay me, I'm open to it.
There you go. So anyone out there that's looking for a model, here you go. That's Michael. That would be a second job. We still need him as a loan officer. So, and then Michael, these are your kids on the beach, is that correct?
So that's actually both my daughter and my son, and then that's my nephew as well. That was actually taken in New York. I have a lot of family up there, and so my dad, he'll take them up there to go see his family, and he takes them for a week, and we get a week off, and so that's them having a blast on the beach.
Great. Okay, well, thank you for sharing some of your personal life with us and with the audience. Now we're going to get onto our topic of buying a home and selling before you sell your current home. So I have a few questions that have come in. What are the rules for homeowners converting a primary residence into a rental property?
So it's something that I recommend, well, maybe not recommend to a lot of people, but I always want to give people the option and explain it to them because it can be a good option for a lot of people to convert your primary residence into an investment home and turn around and purchase a new home for you and your family. Kind of the main thing that it comes down to in order to do this, of course, you have to find a tenant to move into your home. You have to have a lease agreement that starts within 30 days of the day that you move out, and the lease agreement has to be for at least 1 year.
Okay. So on that, that's one of the questions someone had asked is how long do you have to live in a house before you can rent it out?
There's not necessarily a set deadline of how long you have to live in the home. Of course, if you're purchasing a home in the same neighborhood, or if you're, regardless, whatever the reason is that you're purchasing a new home, we just need to explain to the underwriter, maybe you're upgrading into a nicer home, into a different school district, or maybe you're downsizing into another home. So we just need to be able to show that this new home is going to be your primary residence, and then find a tenant to occupy the old home.
Okay, great information there. And we have another question, and it's what are the requirements as far as the county and investment income? Explain that. That can be a little confusing.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, whenever I do, pitch it to them and give them the option of maybe converting their primary to an investment, a lot of people, the first thing is they think that they're not going to be able to get approved for two homes. But what you have to realize is whatever the lease agreement shows for the rental income, I'm going to be able to take 75% of that and count it towards your debt to income ratio. As a lot of renter knows and home buyers, majority of the time, the fair market rent is going to be higher than what the mortgage payment is. So even when we take 75% of it, it's still going to be enough to cover your mortgage. So I essentially, a lot of times, do not have to count that mortgage payment against you. That gives you the opportunity to turn around, free up some room in your debt to income ratio, turn around and purchase the new home.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot for someone to remember, but they really don't have to remember because that's something that you would educate them on. If people have questions on this, Michael, how can they get in touch with you? What is your number and email address?
So my direct number is 214-735-3352. That's my cell number. You can always call or text me on that number. And then my email address is michael.melton, Melton, at supremelending.com. And again, it's not something I recommend to everyone, but it's worth taking a look at to see if we can make it work for you. You also want to talk with your real estate agent, get a good idea of if you sell the home, how much could you profit, how much would you be taking home, and then also they can help you, give you a good idea of what fair market rent is. So we can take a look at that, make sure that all the numbers make sense, and see which option is going to be most beneficial for you.
Okay, and what about proof of tenant security deposit?
So that's a good question. That's one of the big things that we're going to look for when we're getting you approved. So there's templates available that you can go online. And I always recommend people have your real estate agent that you're working with walk you through this. They can help you fill out the lease agreement. They can help you find a tenant as well to occupy the property. And on that lease agreement, they're going to be required to put down a deposit.
How much is that deposit?
So there's not a set amount. Of course, with you becoming a landlord, there's security deposits for a reason. You want to make sure that you're covered. So that's something, again, I'd probably talk with your real estate agent as well, but you want to set a good amount, obviously, so, helps mitigate the risk. But there's no set amount that we look for. There's not a specific number. The only thing is we're going to need to see proof of the deposit. So we're going to need to see a copy of the cashier's check or the money order. And then we're also going to need to see a bank statement from you showing that money order or deposit going into your account. Whatever the deposit figure it is, it must match the executed lease that you provided to us.
Okay. And then what are the benefits of renting your home and buying another versus selling the home and buying another?
So that's again, I always recommend people to kind of talk with your realtor. We can take a look and see if you were to sell the home, how much money you would walk away with. But then, of course, the benefit to renting it out would be you can have a tenant come in. Fair market rent is majority of the time going to be more than enough to cover your mortgage payment. So you can have a tenant come in, they start paying your mortgage payment for you, and you continue to build equity. So I think it's a great option. It's kind of one of the easier ways to become a real estate investor, kind of diversify your portfolio. And
Okay. And then what about, do you need to hire a property manager?
That's another good question as well. I would recommend it to a lot of people. Of course, time is money, and that also helps mitigate risk as well. So it just kind of depends upon, it's a case by case basis. But for a lot of people, you'd be surprised about, there's some property managers out there that I won't say cheap, but can definitely, they offer some great services for some fair prices. So they can help you find a tenant for the home. They do all the payment collections and all that. So I think the best thing is to do, if you're going to go that route, I definitely think it's worth to take the time and talk with a property manager or two and see what they can offer you.
Okay, you have brought us some really great information today, Michael. And before we close, we have one more photo I want to ask you about. And this is of you, it looks like on a mountain. Or were you skiing?
I was actually hiking there.
Oh,
Yeah, that was at my brother's bachelor party, and we were in Colorado. Went around a few different places. It doesn't look as high as it is. I'm trying to think how many feet we're up now, but it was a nice hike. It was a fun time when we went up there. So that's another thing. Whenever I can, love to get outside, play sports, whatever we can do.
great. And so if you're looking at becoming a landlord, instead of selling your home to buy another one, go ahead and give Michael a call and talk to him about how you can become a landlord and rent out your home at the same time as buying a new home. So once again, Michael's phone number and email address is on the screen above. Go ahead and give him a call if you have any questions. And we want to thank you for taking your time to watch our program today on this topic. Have a great day and stay blessed.